Hey, welcome back to the channel. So you've probably noticed we talk a lot here about personal responsibility around climate change. You know, that constant what can I do pressure that can feel, honestly, pretty overwhelming sometimes. Like the whole weight of the world is sitting right here on your shoulders. But maybe that stuck feeling where you don't know what action to take or where to even start, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the questions we're all asking. Because when we only see climate through the big stuff, extreme weather, rising temperatures, the political shouting matches, it's no wonder it feels out of reach, like it's happening somewhere else to someone else, and definitely not something we can change from here. But here's a thing that we often overlook. We're surrounded by questions every day, but most of them, they're not really ours. We're constantly being told what to think, who's right, who's wrong, what the so-called solution is. But those quick answers that we're being fed, they don't reflect our reality, our families, our neighborhoods. They're designed for clicks, for headlines, for someone else's agenda. And we've kind of gotten used to it, right? We're living in a world of instant answers, Googling something before we've even thought it through. But with all those answers flying around at us, when was the last time we actually stopped and asked the right questions? Now, that's where I want to go today. Not answers, just better questions. So let's dive in. Quick answers feel good. They give us certainty, closure, a way to avoid the messiness. And in our modern busy lives bombarded by endless questions and information, they let us tick a box and move on to the next thing. But consider this for a moment. As adults, we're asking fewer questions in real conversations, yet we ask far more of them instantly through Google or social media. Studies show around 50% of people turn to their social networks, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever, to get instant answers. That rush to know, to have the right answer, can blind us to deeper truths, especially with something like the climate crisis, where real solutions are slow, they're complex, and they're community-based. Sometimes the most honest thing we can say is, I don't know yet, and that's a more powerful starting point than pretending we have it all figured out. So I invite you to look a little closer. Whose questions are we actually repeating? Are they the media's panicked headlines, politicians' cultural wars, corporate greenwashing campaigns? Think about this. Preschool children ask up to 400 questions a day, but once they start school, it plummets from a question every 2 minutes to less than one every couple of hours. That natural curiosity, slowly squeezed out by systems, by expectations, by what we're told to care about. If the questions we ask don't come from us, from our communities, from our realities, from our sense of injustice, the answers we will get will never truly work for us. If we want real change, we have to reclaim the questions, and that's where it starts. So what are the questions that actually matter? Too often we get stuck asking things like, who's winning the next election, or how do we fix climate change? Huge, overwhelming questions that feel impossible to answer on our own. But sometimes the most powerful questions are small, they're local and personal. For example, what would make my neighborhood safer in a flood or a heat wave? Why is it so hard to get fresh food where I live? Who's being left out of the decisions around here and why? And what gives me, my friends, my family, a sense of meaning and connection? These aren't side questions. These are climate questions. These are justice questions, because a healthier planet starts with healthier communities. Big change happens when enough of us start asking the right small questions right where we are. So why asking better questions doesn't just help us understand the world, it helps us evolve. We don't grow by shouting answers louder. We grow by slowing down, reflecting, listening, and imagining. When we ask deeper questions about injustice, about community, about belonging, it rewires how we relate to ourselves and to others. It's no coincidence that the systems causing the climate crisis also teach us to stop asking questions, because injustice thrives in silence or in manufactured outrage. But curiosity breaks that cycle. Curiosity opens the doors to alternatives, to solidarity, to regeneration. Better questions aren't weakness. They're the first step in shifting culture, and that shift can ripple outwards from you to your street to the world. So if you've been wondering where to start asking or how to start asking better questions, here's one simple tool. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, why is it like this? Ask instead something like this. What would it look like if it were better? Who benefits from it being this way and who pays the price? And what could this look like if centered around care, community, and the planet? You don't need to be an expert to start asking better questions. You just need curiosity and the willingness to look again, because every small shift in how we question the world around us starts building a better world. So there's no hot takes from me today, no debates, just questions. And I would like to know, what's a question you've been holding on to? What's something you wish people in your life were more curious about instead of just arguing about it? Drop it in the comments and let's make questioning normal again, because we don't have to fix everything today. We can start with the better questions, and sometimes that's how everything changes. To wrap things up, if you have enjoyed today's video, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then please do subscribe to the channel and be sure to click on that bell icon for future updates. Until next time, it's bye for me for now.